Good afternoon, YouTube. Who's your piper? Ow. AKA Mark. Coming at you. Hey, I am going stir crazy. Got cabin fever, spring fever, whatever they call it. But man, I'm out in my shop, getting ready to head outdoors. I got to do something outside. I am going nuts. I'm tired of this Hoosier weather. It's It's chilly. It's damp outside. We had rain, freezing rain, snow yesterday. I've got a bunch of limbs down, so my goal today is to kind of clean up the yard. I'm going to get a fire going, I believe. I'm going to try to use, see if I can do this. I don't know if I'm doing, there we go. That's my knife from Wallace Knife Works. Get over and check out Ricky's channel, Wallace Knife Works in Homestead. Handmade, custom knives. That's got a ferro rod on it. I'm going to try to start a fire tonight, even though it's very breezy out right now. Got to clean this mess of a bench up. It is. I don't know. Well, maybe you don't. If in the winter, I don't have a heated shop, so in the winter I just throw everything on my bench and I dig through it. Springtime, usually I got a mess to clean up, and that's what I'll be doing that today as well. Got my Country Gentleman, got some Frog Morton on the Bayou in it, and I'll be smoking that throughout the afternoon. And if I get a decent fire going, I may sit out next to the fire and enjoy a pipe, kind of like the Mindful Piper does. If you haven't been over to his channel, check it out. He's always got something good going on there, and he's generally has got a little fire going out when he's chopping wood or whatever, so I always enjoy that. And today is nothing outside of the wind is happening, no precipitation or anything, so I am going to try to give that a go. And if I do, I'll attach a clip on the end of this video. But until next time, who's your piper? Have a good one. We'll check in with you later. Oh, shoot. Yeah, it's windy. right, got a mess of twigs on there. I went and split a couple 2x6s that I get that are cut-offs from a local rafter and truss making company, and that always burns pretty good. And no, I did not get it to stay going with the way I lit it, so I went and got some starter fluid, because starter fluid is always good for starting a fire. A little bit of a pyromaniac, but it is going, and it will stay going. I'm gonna go clean up the rest of the yard. I need a proper tripod. You guys get a kick out of how I got my phone set up there. I've got it on my wheelbarrow and tilted back with a 1x plank off an old skid, holding it in place. See, there's a fire over here somewhere. That's what I'm sitting by. I had a tripod at one time and it got taken, or I misplaced it, but I had it in a vehicle. Anyways, on my second bowl, still Frog Morton. Tell you a real quick story about me and fires, starting them. Probably 20 years ago. I know the wind's blowing. I'm hoping it's not messing up my microphone. About 20 years ago, we were living on a lake here in our county. Had a lot of maple trees in our yard. We got a lot of maple trees in our yard now, but we weren't living at this house. And me and my wife have 5 kids. At that time, we just had the 2 oldest sons. And I was raking leaves. It was in the fall, and we had some rain, and the leaves were damp. Gasoline has never failed me when I wanted to start a fire. I had a big old pile of leaves, probably 3-4 foot high, 8-9 feet in diameter. It was huge. And I was using matches, just could not get that pile to stay lit. At least it didn't burn like I wanted it to. At the time, my oldest son couldn't have been 4 or 5 years old, maybe 3 years old. He was out helping me, so I went and got some gas out of the garage. And I had him go stand up underneath the overhang by our back door, and he was probably 20 feet away or so. And I used maybe a half cup of gas, which is a lot to start this pile on. And it was a breezy day. I waited a little bit thinking, let those fumes kind of blow away. I was wearing a red, I'll never forget this, kind of a red flannel graph, got blue and green stripes, a little bit of yellow in it. Flannel, not flannel graph, flannel shirt. I took those matches and I went and stood over that big pile of leaves. And I remember lighting the match and watching it fall. And it didn't even get halfway to the pile, and all of a sudden everything was orange around me. And this huge leaves flying everywhere. Looked down on my shirt, it caught fire. And I remember turning around and looking up at the back door because I wanted to see, make sure my son was okay, and he was. His eyes were about that big around, and the first thing went through my mind, my shirt's still burning, was you better get your crap together because my wife's coming out to see what's going on. I was going to get in trouble. Now to hear her tell the story, the ground shook. She was around the other side of the house with my youngest son at the time. He's my middle son. He's 21 now. And she come flying around the corner of the house, and I got in trouble. I will say that. I don't think it was because I was out there. I think it was because my oldest son was out there. Shoot. Anyways, I'm a bit of a pyromaniac. I can start a fire a lot of different ways, but I get impatient, especially when I've got tools and resources that'll get it done faster. Anyways, taking a little break. I got the backyard pretty much swept up. We've had a lot of wind, and that freezing rain and ice that we got yesterday took down some limbs. I got our backyard looking a little bit better. I'm just tired of being inside. That's kind of the arrangement I had. I had this sitting on my camera. Hope you guys are having a good weekend. This has done me good to get out here, sit by a fire. Just think about different campfires that we've had and share a little story. Thanks for coming along. Till next time, who's your piper?